and welcome to a brand new episode of JoeScentMe. My name is Joe and I am your host for today. Today I want to focus on one brand that I've had a week-long experience with, and it has been a wonderful journey, and this brand is none other than Atelier Cologne. I want to just focus on the 6 that I had my experience with and just give you some thoughts on the 6 that I tried out. The first fragrance that I tried out was one that really intrigued me because I knew, based on the love that Carlos from Brooklyn Fragrance Lover had for this fragrance, I knew that I was going to like this fragrance. Carlos described it, and then I said to myself, okay, I've got to find this and try it. And so that fragrance is called Cafe Tuberosa. I had the preconceived notion that Tuberosa was going to mean that it's going to be loaded with tuberose. And although tuberose is a beautiful fragrance, it's a floral. You guys know me well enough to know that I'm just not crazy about florals. Well, I was so happy when I saw that Carlos had mentioned that this thing is not a floral fragrance, even though it has it in there. It was more of an espresso feel to it, but I was so happy and so pleasantly surprised that the tuberose that's in here is subdued enough that it is not overwhelming. Because guys, you know that I don't like floral fragrances that much, but man, did this fragrance just knock me off my socks. I mean, it was so good. I'm in love with this fragrance. It is one of my favorites from this house. Carlos, you are so right about this fragrance. Oh my goodness. In fact, I took it to a friend of mine at work, and I had her smell this fragrance, and she said this was the best fragrance I ever gave her to smell. This is the best fragrance she'd ever smelled on me, and she is now wanting to get this fragrance because of it. This fragrance was dark, beautiful, coffee. I would say it would be even borderline, like Carlos even mentioned, it'd be kind of on the chocolatey side. Even though there's no chocolate in it, it's somehow the combination of the fragrances combined gave it this chocolatey feel, but it was so rich, so decadent, and perfect for the fall, winter. A man or a woman could totally pull this off. What a fantastic fragrance. Totally in love with it. The notes on this are pretty simple. It's tuberose from India, bergamot from Calabria, and coffee espresso accord. These 3 notes are the top 3 that you totally get in this fragrance, and it doesn't need to be complicated. It smells way more complicated than it actually is. It's beautiful. It's so nice. Guys, girls, pick this one up. It is so good. So good. And that was day 1. Can you imagine what the rest of my week was like? The next one is near and dear to my heart because I've worn this before, but I've wanted to wear it again, and I hope I'm going to get a full bottle of this at some point, but it is none other than OUD SAPHIR. Guys, this is such a good oud. I'm looking at the notes here. We've got oud wood from Malaysia, bergamot from Calabria, birch wood from China. What a wonderful fragrance this is. This is not a oudy oud. This is not a dirty skank oud. This is a very beautiful, almost fruity-like, almost leathery-ish oud. It has a really nice, bright pop to it. It actually can be worn any time of the year. This is not the kind of oud that kind of forces you to save it for a cold day. You can totally get away with this one in the summer. This is not a stinky, heavy oud. Although it is rich, it's not rich enough to make you want to wait for a cold day to wear it. Really nice. Definitely a great oud if you're a beginner and just getting into oud and you're unsure. Perfect for that person. Really nice. Highly suggest it. Definitely a full bottle worthy perfume indeed. Next on the list is Gold Leather. Gold Leather is a phenomenal fragrance, guys, girls. This is such an amazing fragrance. Again, I was just blown away by this. The notes on this are leather and oud, bitter orange from Sevilla, and davana from India. The oud and the leather are the 2 strongest notes in this. I think this fragrance, it was oudier than the OUD SAPHIR. I actually think this fragrance has a more predominant, stronger oud than the OUD SAPHIR. And I also think that this is probably going to be more of a night cold weather fragrance, more so than the OUD SAPHIR was. So if you're looking for a beautiful leather oud, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous leather oud fragrance. I highly recommend it. And again, I say this is a full bottle-worthy fragrance indeed. So definitely check this one out. Now we're going to go into the lighter side. I have been getting into vanilla fragrances because my wife likes them, but I'm also very picky about my vanilla fragrances because I don't like this overly sweet and cloying vanilla fragrance. Well, Vanille Insensée is that fragrance. It is a beautiful fragrance. It is totally fresh and clean vanilla. It has got a touch of the lime in it right there. It's the two things that go really well together. You've got vanilla from Madagascar and lime from Mexico. There's also oakmoss from Slovenia, but the two notes that are really noticeable in this are just the vanilla and the lime. These two notes are gorgeously blended together. There's not a dominant vanilla note, there's not a dominant lime note. They're just blended really, really well. The vanilla in this is high quality. It feels really nice, and it's perfect for days where, you know, it is a warmer day and you want to wear vanilla, because typically when you have vanilla fragrances, it's a hard fragrance to pull off in the summer and spring. This one you actually can, because it's just light enough that you can. By the way, before I go any further, every one of these fragrances that I've talked about so far are a concentration known to Atelier as an Eau de Cologne Absolute, which is essentially like an eau de parfum. You might as well say it's an eau de parfum, almost even an extrait de parfum. Guys, these are super strong, long-lasting fragrances. They will last you at least 10 to 12 hours. They last really, really long. They smell beautiful and they last really long. So you're definitely getting your money's worth because these are highly concentrated, high-quality fragrances. The next one that I wore is Santal Carmin. And I know what Santal means. It's sandalwood. So it's exactly what I expected. This is a sandalwood fragrance. And here's what we got. We've got sandalwood from New Caledonia. We've got limette from Mexico. We got saffron from India. So imagine this saffron, sandalwood. I would say this is an oriental fragrance for sure, but it was beautiful. And if you're into sandalwood, this is definitely one of the top sandalwood fragrances ever. I mean, it's so good. Spot on. Perfect sandalwood. This is going to be one that you would wear in the summer, spring, fall, whatever. You can wear those anytime. It's not super heavy. It's doable in those climates, so you think you'll be okay with that. The last fragrance that I wore is Cèdre Atlas, and this was a cedar-based fragrance, and boy oh boy was it cedar-based. It is the strongest and the most dominant note in this fragrance. I think this is probably the most masculine of the bunch. I don't think it is as feminine or as unisex as it could be, although it is considered unisex. I believe this is most likely going to be used by men because of its dominant cedar note in this. It's got Atlas cedarwood from Moroccan Rif. It's got lemon from Sicily, and of course, white amber. This fragrance was extremely powerful in the cedar, and once you get over that initial blast that you get, it does mellow out a bit, but it stays with you. It's a strong, very strong cedar, very masculine scent, and certainly a good fragrance if you're looking for something that is a very cedar-based fragrance. That pretty much sums up, for me, my experience with Atelier Cologne. It's been a fantastic journey, by the way, and just based on the few that I tried out, and they have a bunch more that I want to try out, but just based on the few that I tried out, I was quite impressed with what they offer. And guys, I definitely recommend that you check them out when you get a chance. There's a few ways that you can do that. One, you can go to luxuryscentbox.com. A few of these that I named are actually on luxuryscentbox.com, and for $18 a month, you can experience a 9ml decant of a few of these fragrances. If you go to their website, I'll include a link there, you'll see which ones are available for you. So that's a great way to try them if you're not willing to commit to the $200 to $350 price tag for a full bottle. You can find these fragrances in most major fragrance outlets, most fragrance stores. But if you want to try them before you officially buy them, then Luxury Scent Box is certainly a great way to do that. And they are the only subscription service out there for fragrances that carries Atelier Cologne. Definitely check them out. Guys, this is it. That's my video. If you like the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up. And also, don't forget to hit the bell notification at the top so that you get great content coming forward. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful day.